In this week's episode, it's Star Wars, nothing but Star Wars. That's not entirely true, but we do have a ton of news coming out of Star Wars Celebration, including the big Episode 9 teaser and title reveal. The Skywalker is rising, but we're not sure where he's going. Apollo said knock you out as we learned that The Mandalorian will be there day one of Disney+. Speaking of which, we now have a price point and details of what else you'll be able to watch when the Disney Plus rolls out in November. Also, Lion King trailer, Egg-Stravaganza spoilers, way too early Halloween news, and more on this luminous episode of the MousePIRE Podcast.
I'm Anthony.
I'm Diggs.
I'm Tim. Welcome to MousePIRE, your source for Disney, Star Wars, and everything in between. This is the podcast where both empires collide. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the MousePIRE Podcast.
Hey, what's going on? Uh-oh.
The apprentice lives.
What is this?
You best start believing in ghost stories, Miss Turner. You're in one.
Think up me how to show up.
You never had a friend like me.
Some imagination, huh?
Made you look.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday. You know what? It was Giselle the Gazelle's birthday,
Yes.
and I saw cake.
Whoa.
This was, 2 days ago, yeah?
Well, it was
It was
yesterday.
Yeah?
Yesterday was her birthday.
There was cake.
I knew that it happened, because Elizabeth told me,
Okay.
but I had forgotten how many days had passed.
Well, yeah, but she had some cake. It looked really, really delicious. And we didn't get any, but it's okay. It's
Giselle, why didn't you come bring us cake for your birthday? I'm sure it was really yummy.
I'm sure it was. And I'm sure she had a good time celebrating her birthday.
Star Wars, nothing but Star Wars cake. Oh.
I don't think it was a Star Wars
No,
cake.
it wasn't a Star Wars cake.
No, it wasn't. But yeah.
We do have lots of Star Wars to talk about, but we will get to that in a bit.
In a parsec.
But first, beep, 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 boop,
You're
boop,
just-
bop, boop. We got breaking news from today. Because if we had recorded yesterday, like we would, apt to do on a Tuesday or even a Monday, we would totally have missed this news that happened today. It is news that we have obviously been expecting because we have more than half a brain. We have been expecting this news for nigh on 2 years. Nigh on
We called it.
2 years.
Been calling it.
We've been calling it. We were late, if anything, on calling
I
it.
heard today that Michael called it. I don't know where that came from. But
What?
yeah.
Michael heard us call it, and then he called it to some other people.
There you go.
Just saying.
Well, as long as he didn't call it in court.
Oh!
Guilty.
But Halloween. Wait, no, I was going to say Halloween is coming to DCA. Halloween's been at DCA. Halloween party time is coming to DCA. Now, I keep seeing people say that Halloween party is coming back to DCA. I don't remember the Halloween party at DCA. I know that there was a Halloween party at DCA. How many years was that?
I don't know how many years, but that was part of the Let's Get People to DCA.
Right.
In 2001, it opened and there was no one really going there. So they had to attract people to DCA, so they threw the party over there.
Yeah, the party started at DCA.
No.
No.
The party started at Disneyland in 1995.
Oh,
Yes,
well, then
we were
you
there.
go.
It is back at DCA,
Yes.
That's what I meant.
but
Yes.
it didn't start there.
So it's
Back.
it's gone back and forth now. It's
Right.
completed the circuit of
Yes.
twice. And as we said, to no surprise of us, because we have been calling it for that it's going to happen. In fact, like we said, we had kind of have expected it to happen last year, but it did not. We now have the confirmation as of today. We are recording. Today is Wednesday, the 17th. we are recording, and we got the combination Oogie Boogie Bash. Whoa. Oogie Boogie is having a bash. Well, he's been having a bash.
Yes.
Now he's just going to get all the bash. And he's bringing some Descendants with him.
Of course, because that's Descendants 3 will be coming out soon.
Yes. And the Oogie Boogie Bash, a Disney Halloween party, will add to the fun of Halloween time at the Disneyland Resort, celebrated from September 6th through October 31st, 2019. So, obviously this year. And that will be at Disney California Adventure. It will be obviously a separate ticket party. It's the same as the Mickey's Halloween party. It's the same thing. It's just at DCA. It's not another party. It's not a second party. They're moving it because obviously Galaxy's Edge. If you don't know that, like we said, anybody with half a brain should have been seeing for a long time the writing on the wall that the Halloween party was going to be moving to DCA. It's like they're not going to close down the park early, and not let people be in DCA. It's like, or in Galaxy's Edge. That's just dumb. And you knew that it was going to happen. Like we said, we expected it last year so they could get into it, but
that's what we thought. We thought they'd start last year so that they could get into the rhythm.
Right, but they're just
Galaxy's
going right
Edge
into it this year. Same with how we'd been saying that, Grad Nights are at DCA now. Now the Halloween party is now at DCA. There is going to be many, many things going on, hopefully, that they will add to make it worthwhile over at DCA. First of all, as I mentioned, the Descendants will be playing a big part. There will be a Descend dance.
Yeah. Get your dance on.
No? Is that how the Descend dance goes?
It could.
It is a new pulsing party. Whoa.
Is that like twerking?
I don't know. It's going to be in the backlot area of Hollywood Land, of course, inspired by the Descendants franchise. As the Descend dance begins, a spell is cast, summoning the greatest dance crew from the Isle of the Lost. Wait a minute. If they're summoning the greatest dance crew ever, then that means that Jason Mendoza has to be involved. Just a little joke there. If you're fans of The Good Place, then you got it. If you're not, then you didn't get the joke. The Isle of the Lost to throw down and lead everyone in moves that are set to the biggest hit songs from the Descendants films. Because, those Descendants songs, they're such hits.
They are. I don't know one of them.
Glad to see that they will have the Frightfully Fun Parade. Is that the same parade, right? The
Yes.
Frightfully Fun.
Yes.
So we know then that it obviously can fit down the road there in DCA. That's good to know that you're not going to lose the parade aspect of it, because that would have been a bummer. Because you're obviously not going to get a fireworks. We will get we do have a replacement for fireworks, but I'll get to that in a minute. So obviously the two biggest things are always the fireworks and the parade. If you lose one, then it obviously takes away from the fact that we'll get to price in a little bit. But so it's nice to have the Frightfully Fun Parade will be continuing, as well as the Headless Horseman starting the procession and everything else. The Mickey's Trick or Treat Show is a new interactive show for kids. And that will be taking place at the Disney Theater in Hollywood Land. I take it that's the Disney Junior, or is that the theater where the on the back lot? It just says Hollywood Land.
We'll find out.
Okay, we will find out. And then, of course, character interactions. Meet beloved Disney characters and villains, too. You may be surprised at who you discover at this Halloween party. Ready for photos and greetings. So hopefully, I would think that it would imply that hopefully that now that it's going to be over at DCA, they're going to kind of switch it up a bit and bring in some different characters that they don't usually use. Maybe kind of get away from the whole just having villains all over the place thing. Or, I don't know, considering the World of Color that we're going to be talking about, that may not be the case. So let's talk about the new World of Color show. It is going to be called Villainous. It will weave a Halloween tale about a young girl named Shelley Marie. This twisted tale carries Shelley on an unforgettable journey exploring the villainous side of Disney characters through fountains, lights, lasers, projections, and special effects. Villainous shows that deep down there's a little villain in all of us. Now, I just want to say that for us, this is an announcement that is almost 10 months in the making, and I'm just going to call this James Gunn Part 7. Because back in July of last year, when after James Gunn was fired, there was a little thing that we covered having to do with Bobcat Goldthwait, who pissed off at Disney for the firing of James Gunn, kind of just started
Going
off and dropped a bomb that he was voicing his character from Hercules in an upcoming show, a World of Color show called Villainous. Now, we at the time speculated that it might have been planned for that Halloween and that, or whatever, and that because we knew that there was rumors that World of Color was supposed to have been ready, obviously, for Halloween. So we thought maybe
then it was down the whole time.
But then it was down the whole time, so we didn't know. But now we obviously get the confirmation that not only did Disney not care about Bobcat Goldthwait's announcement enough to change the name, I like to headcanon that they hired James Gunn back just so that they could Bobcat Goldthwait wouldn't screw up their show.
I wonder if he's still in it.
I don't know. That's a good point that we'll have to, when the show starts and people are going, then we'll have to find out whether he is still in it. Tickets go on sale to Annual Pass holders. Mark this on your calendars. Tickets go on sale April 23rd, so next Tuesday. That is for APs, Vacation Club members, and Visa card holders. Tickets will go on sale to the general public the following Tuesday on April 30th, and that will be for everybody else. Now, I had been saying since we had been talking about going over DCA that rightfully they should drop the price when it goes over to DCA. Well, they just refused to listen to me. Oh, I skipped over a couple things here, but there will be treat trails. There will obviously be different places. I like that they mentioned that there's going to be Alice stuff because that's kind of neat that it hasn't been done before. Then on the Redwood Creek Challenge Trail, that will be transformed into a wondrous and ethereal world of Disney villains. Redwood Creek will be tricked out in a dreamlike environment. You will basically going to be like a maze, right?
Yeah, so I want to
basically their first attempt at doing a maze.
First attempt for regular guest, but not at all because they've done this in the past for cast members.
Oh, yes.
Which they make it like a scary maze there.
Right.
So basically they've been practicing how they're going to be doing this.
Right. So, yeah, let's get back to the pricing real fast. And I just want to say that I don't know if we really want to talk about the prices themselves because they're such a high. The tiers are really crazy. And we could always go over those at another time if we want to. But I just want to say that it's ridiculous that they are charging, that they've raised the prices yet again. They should have at least kept them the same to help people be a little bit easier about the move from Disneyland over to DCA. And that's all. That's all I'm going to say about that.
They probably want to make the same amount of money, but the capacity at DCA is going to be less. They're not going to be able to sell as many tickets per event or per night. Chances are they just wanted to make the same, so they added up what they made and they subtracted it. They divided it by the number of people, and they go, "Oh, here's the price."
Now, do we want to go over or just do you want to just direct people to the Facebook page or whatever to look at the dates, or do you want to go over the dates, or I don't know what you wanted to do? The only thing I really wanted to point out was that for Tuesday and Thursday nights, excluding the 29th and 31st, you will get to have a mix-in for 3 hours, as opposed to then on Sundays, it will be 4 hours, which is interesting. Plus the 29th and the 31st. So have they done that before where the mix-in was a different amount of time?
No.
I don't think so.
No.
So, yeah, that's very interesting that they're doing more of a mix-in time where you get to be in the park before the party. And that'll be on Sundays and then on October 29th and Halloween night.
Yeah, you guys can go over to Facebook and check out the dates. I will be making my usual calendar and letting you guys know when the tickets are sold out. So, hey, you have a lot of time right now to get your tickets as soon as they go on sale next week and the week after. So, remember, if you don't get your tickets in time, then don't complain.
Yeah, just keep in mind that it's usually about end of July, beginning of August when we start telling you guys that the tickets are starting to sell out, and everybody's like, oh, I didn't know. Well, we're telling you right now. It's about as early as it's ever gotten for us telling you about Halloween. So, I mean, usually you're only hearing about Halloween at Walt Disney World this early. So
True.
It's very, very, they want to make sure they get everything done. So, if you guys want to see all the dates that are going to be available, go over to our Facebook page. We'll have that posted. And then as well as the link to be able to look at what the pricing is, because once again, it's a tiered pricing based on when you go. So it'll just be a bunch of numbers going in and out of your ears if we try to explain that. So
Right.
obviously, we will have more about that lots later when there's not other things to talk about.
All right, so real quick, before I left on my spring break,
He had eggs.
I don't like eggs.
He doesn't like eggs.
But I did go do the Egg-Stravaganza at Disneyland Park. I didn't do all of them. I didn't do the other two. I just did Disneyland. It was pretty cool. Took my little buddy Miles, and we went egg hunting. And there was one egg that was really hard to find, and that was really it was really, really dirty for them to put in the spot. Because I was looking all over for it. I'm not going to say which one it was, but I was looking all over for it. And by the time I found it, 15 minutes later, I realized that any kid would not have found this, that you would have to actually be,
Oh, you're talking about the critter one?
yes, you have to be, at least 5'5" to find this or taller because it's surrounded by a whole bunch of
It was in the bush.
bushes. And I was like, I literally had to look up, oh, there it is. Any little kid would not find it. Trust me on that.
Wow.
So that
We're
was
gonna leave one for mom and dad.
Is that
Maybe.
Is that over now?
no, it's
Oh,
not
it's still
over
going
yet.
on. So no spoilers.
Yeah, no spoilers.
Not like people on Tim's page who were already posting photographs of where the eggs were the very day that it started.
Before it started.
Oh yeah, before it even started.
I'm gonna
people
go so far as to say that one picture left a lot to the imagination about
No,
where
it
it was
didn't.
located. Well, yeah, because you know every inch of the park like times 10.
Still though.
If
Shouldn't
you're
be
like,
posting anything. It's courteous.
I agree. I also think that certain stuff most people just don't. Most people aren't going to recognize a trim on a building the way you would.
Well, we know the park pretty well.
Yeah.
Anyway, I had a great time doing it. That was one of the eggs that was really dirty because a kid wouldn't be able to find it.
Did you wash your hands after?
I didn't.
Because it was super dirty.
No, because I didn't touch the egg.
Oh. You just felt like you needed to take a shower.
No. The other egg I didn't actually find was by It's a Small World. I still don't know what egg that is. I mean, I know what egg it is, but I don't know where it's at.
Oh, so you're still not done?
No, I'm done. But you find all the eggs. You have one sticker left. You know where it's at, where it goes.
Well, that's not right. You got to go over there and find it.
I looked. I did. And we were trying to go check out Mickey and the Magical Map, and then they canceled the show on us.
Dirty.
And yeah, so anyway, I mean, I know what egg it is. I just don't know where it's at. But actually, I'm going to get over there tomorrow, and I'll check it out and see if I can find the egg. But it was cool. We had a great time. There was Miles' first time actually doing this, and he had a ball. And then later on, we met up with Tim the Tech in downtown Disney, and he bought us dinner. What? He bought us dinner.
Well, he's got the big job now.
Yes, he does have the big job, and he actually is in Canada right now.
Canada?
He's in Canada, yeah. That's where
I've
he
never told you guys about the Canada.
No, we don't want to
Hey,
go there
Very quick. If Americans come from America, then Canadians must come from Canada. It's simple logic.
Okay.
So tell Timadia
Timadia
that to bring me back some health care.
Yeah. He just wants cheap prescription drugs. That's all he wants.
Tell him to bring me back some health care and some oxygen.
I'll let him know.
Oh, and clean water.
Oh,
Tell him to drop off some to Flint.
you
while
only
he's
allowed 5 ounces, right?
Oh. Damn it.
Anyway, so yeah, he met up with us at Downtown Disney. We went to the taqueria, and he bought us dinner, and it was really good. And then we headed over to the hotel. I went to the Tangaroa Terrace, and to check out the walk-up little thing. You can walk up and get your Dole Whip, and he got one there. I'm like, hey, this is my first time going over here and checking that out. It was happening deal. It was like a happening spot. There's tons of people there, and they have music going on. So I actually want to go back over there. It was better than that.
Okay.
I want to go back over there and just chill, hang out. It was really nice to go over there. And yeah, it was pretty cool. So Egg-Stravaganza, got my eggs on, and it was cool. If you guys haven't done that yet, go check that out. Get your maps over there at Disneyland. Then they have the maps for Downtown Disney and California Adventure.
Every time you say "get your something on," it makes me think of the commercial they're running right now.
Right.
With
Get
the
your
gift.
ears
Come on,
on.
everybody, get your ears on. Hey, 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 a good time.
No, have a good time.
Whatever it says.
Have
I
a
mean,
good time.
There you go. Come on, everybody, get your ears on.
So yeah, that's pretty cool. Check that out, and it's going to be over after Easter, I guess. I don't know.
Hey, all right. So we've been telling you guys about it for a long time now. Like, what, a year we've been talking about it? Or we didn't have a name, but we've been talking about the Disney streaming service, quote unquote, which we know now is called Disney Plus. Well, now we have all the other information because, as I told you guys, like I think a month or so ago, that they were going to have a shareholders meeting on April 11th. It was scheduled. Everybody knew it was happening. None of this should have come as a surprise to anybody. There was the shareholders meeting that was designated as the unveiling of Disney Plus, and it of course happened on last Thursday. And woohoo! That thing was like I watched the whole thing, and it was like 3 hours long or something like that.
Which the whole thing?
Yeah, I watched the whole thing. I streamed the whole thing because they had it live streaming.
No. I mean, I'm saying that you couldn't. It's just that's an investment.
Yeah, I was doing other things.
Okay.
So, but yeah, it was pretty cool because it was obviously a lot of stuff. They showed clips for things, and then they would cut away, and they showed they played Disney elevator music basically while they were showing these clips for the shareholders that we couldn't see. But
well, that's no fun.
But no, and all the announcements though were like huge. It was like, oh my god, and then just confirming all kinds of things that we've been hearing rumors about. So
we have like a quick list to go down.
Oh, I have a big, huge list to go down. I'm just gonna get to it. I think there's no more, even though this came more at the end of the program, I think there's no more appropriate way to start this discussion with Disney Plus and to welcome Fox to the Disney family than to
play this.
Homer Simpson here, proud addition to the Disney family and soon appearing on Disney Plus. I, for one, salute our new corporate overlords. Now, family, put on the mouse ears. You only get one chance to make a first impression.
I don't wanna, I'm not gonna, you can't make me.
Put on the ears, boy. Marge? What's up? This is a great honor.
Take it, Maggie.
I thought it was great.
Yes, that was great. So yeah, that's right. The one of the later announcements of the Disney Plus presentation was that The Simpsons, in its entirety, or at least the I think to start with, like the first 10 seasons, I think they said to start with, will be available on Disney Plus at launch. Now, of course,
still mean that the recent seasons will be on Hulu?
No, they weren't even on Hulu. They were on FX, the FX app. You had to have a subscription to the FXX app.
So that's probably still
because back when they did the Every Simpsons Ever marathon thing, and Fox FX had acquired the whole Simpsons library, and they did that whole marathon and all that. They had done the whole where they sent the whole Simpsons library to the FX app. Or FXX
Well,
app.
since you have to have a cable subscription for that anyway, they might just keep them there.
Maybe we'll have to wait and see, because obviously that's just gonna now. Eventually they'll move it all to Disney Plus, but obviously The Simpsons is one thing that is verified, that is confirmed for being on Disney Plus day one. Now, actually, 2 days before the actual Disney Plus announcement, we got the announcement that we had expansion on the previous announcement about the Monsters Inc. show that was going to be coming to Disney Plus. 2 days before the actual presentation, we got the word that the show would be called Monsters at Work. I don't know if you had seen this or if you were busy, you didn't see the announcement. Yeah, so the Monsters Inc. show is going to be called Monsters at Work, and is going to have the return of Billy Crystal as Mike and John Goodman as Sully
on a TV show.
On the TV,
that's pretty big.
Yes, on the streaming show. It will take place 6 months after the original Monsters Inc. film, and will of course bring back the two, as well as probably having lots of new characters.
Probably Roz down.
So actually, I think I saw in the cast list something about it being Roz's brother or something like that. That's going to be on the show. Let me just look real fast. Yes, it will. Bob Peterson, who voiced Roz, will be voicing Rose, spelled R-O-Z-E instead of R-O-Z, twin sister to Roz.
There you go. So it's her twin. So basically the same character, but just with a different name.
And interestingly enough, we'll get to this person a little bit later, but also Kelly Marie Tran, of course, of Star Wars, will be coming in as a new character named Val Little. Henry Winkler will be also in the cast. All right, so moving on to the actual presentation, which was like I said, it was 3 hours long. It was a lot of, they just came up and they did a lot of, it's to the shareholders. So they come up and they do a lot of talking about things that, I don't need to pay attention. They not only did they show what the interface is going to look like, which seems fairly straightforward. It's basically like any other of the other interfaces. I would actually say it's similar to the Fire interface, or it's similar to the more similar to the Amazon.
Amazon's okay.
It really depends on what platform you're on, though, because they are all going to look different. I think the idea with this, though, is it's supposed to be consistent among all platforms, as opposed to like if you go on your PlayStation, or if you go on your Apple TV, or if you go on your Amazon Fire, and you can have like 2 or 3 different versions of Netflix, the interface for Netflix, or different versions of the interface for Hulu. The interface for Disney Plus should be consistent across all platforms, including your phone. All right, so they kind of they broke it up into the different sections of Disney. Each presentation was given by whoever the head of that was. Obviously, Disney Channel stuff was presented by the Disney person. The Star Wars stuff was presented by Kathleen Kennedy. The Marvel stuff was presented by Kevin Feige. Any of the movie stuff was presented by their movie person. So they had each of the different ones were done. Now we got the under the category of movies. Yeah, the whole entire Disney Signature Collection is going to be available on Disney Plus at launch. So that's basically every single of the animated movies.
What's not included?
I would assume, without being said, Song of the South is not included. But basically anything that's been put out on either, I would imagine, Blu-ray. If every single Disney movie except for...
Does that include stuff like Black Cauldron?
You would presumably, if it has had it says Signature Collection, so Signature Collection may specifically refer to only those that have come out under the Signature Collection banner, which are the ones in the white packaging, I believe, right? So,
I think so.
It may be limited to only those ones at launch. Now we're talking about at launch. Eventually, everything will be added.
I think likely they'll remove and add stuff to keep you interested.
Because what's probably happening, too, is with a lot of the stuff that's not going to get added right away, is they're probably in process of remastering everything.
Right.
Because we know from we've had discussions where I talked about things like us going to Wednesdays with Walt, and we were talking about Darby O'Gill and the Little People, and I've been talking about how some of the different shows that they've shown, the movies that they've shown on the Treasures from the Disney Vault on TCM have looked amazing, like they've been remastered. It's all preparation for this.
Has to be.
Because there's no reason for them to decide, we're going to have a streaming service and then not. You have to remaster things that are older to put it on a streaming service if that is high quality, unless you're going to already,
Well, the other thing, too, is that if they don't want to stream everything in HD to every person. They want it to be available at a lower resolution. So to remaster it, they can still put it out at 720 or 1080 instead of 4K or something, or Blu-ray. 4K is pretty much Blu-ray, right?
4K is above Blu-ray.
Okay, but those levels.
Right.
But if they remaster, like The Little Mermaid, for instance, it's going to appear better at a 720.
Right, and that's the whole idea. Is that I don't think they're even going for 720. I think they're just going straight to 1080 because I mean 720 is already outdated.
Well, the speed here, but when you get all these users streaming things all the time, sometimes they have to lower the speed or the frame rates.
Yeah. It depends on what the packages are. We'll get to that. We don't know what packages are, but it depends on what kind of stuff they're going to have.
Potentially, there's a higher price option.
Potentially in the future, there might be, because we know that Netflix has a 4K option, which you pay now only $3 more, since the Netflix just recently raised their basic price to $12.99. It's actually only $3 more to $15.99 for the 4K option, which also gives you up to 4 screens. So, also, not only besides the Signature Collection, all of the Pixar films will be available on Disney Plus at launch.
That's cool.
Now, real quick, here for the Signature Collection says Snow White, Beauty and the Beast, Pinocchio, Bambi, Lion King, Lady and the Tramp, Peter Pan, Little Mermaid, and Cinderella.
Right, and those are the ones that have all come out in the white packaging under the Signature Collection.
Yes.
And I think what's happening, like I said, is that they're going through and they're remastering each of them to put out in the Signature Collection, and it has a dual purpose for the selling, and then also for to get it onto the streaming service at the highest possible quality.
Does that mean, though, do you think
at some point all of them will be remastered and get on there?
But do you think that means that, for instance, 101 Dalmatians or Aladdin is not going to be, or Little Mermaid won't be offered on there?
I said all. Eventually
all. I'm talking about at launch. You think they're only going to put those 12 or 15 films?
There's 9 right now.
Right, okay.
And Little Mermaid is part of it.
Okay.
Only the signature ones will
Aladdin's
be available
not
at
on
launch. Yeah. At launch, only the signature ones. But at launch, all Pixar films are going to be available.
Right, because they can.
Because those were already digital, so it was easier to remaster even the older ones like Toy Story.
Digital stuff is
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now, in along lines with that, obviously, within the first year of the launch of Disney Plus, the Frozen 2 will also be added, and then they will be having. Before that, they will have what's called Into the Unknown, which is a making of Frozen 2, a first-of-its-kind documentary taking audiences behind the scenes of the animated film. And that will be on Disney+. It will be a special documentary. And then also, related to Pixar, they will have Bo Peep will be coming to Disney+ in her very own Pixar short called Lamp Life, which will explain some of what happened to Bo Peep in between her disappearance at the end of Toy Story 2, right?
Yeah.
And Toy Story 4 or whatever.
When she comes back. And
whatever the period is that she's not in the Toy Story movies, that's what this short is going to cover. Then also, weirdo Mr. Spoonie or Forky or whatever the hell his name is from Sporky from the upcoming Toy Story 4 will be getting his own series of Pixar shorts called Forky Asks a Question.
They're probably like 2-minute things or something.
Probably something like that. And that will be coming to day one as well on Disney+. Moving into just real fast, they actually had somebody come out and they talked about, because of course Disney now owns National Geographic, which is probably one of, if anything, the best parts of the Fox deal, I think, is the fact that Disney owns National Geographic. It's no secret, at least to, once again, people with half a brain, that when Rupert Murdoch bought National Geographic, he fired every single overseas photographer that was working for National Geographic magazine, and he basically turned National Geographic into a joke of its former great self. And now, hopefully, with Disney having control of it, it'll hopefully bring National Geographic back to its former glory. They already have, I believe, they said something like 250 hours or something of material for Discover or for National Geographic that's going to be set for Disney Plus. It's going to have its own category. And probably the best thing that's going to be coming out of that, and probably maybe the greatest thing possibly coming out of Disney Plus, is a little show called The World According to Jeff Goldblum.
That's got to be great.
And that's basically Jeff Goldblum will be picking a subject such as, just, I don't know, pick something. Just name something off the top of your head.
Bumblebees.
He will be taking bumblebees and he will go on a exploration to some place and talk about bumblebees.
Cool.
So that's
I like
basically
bumblebees.
Jeff Goldblum, Anthony Bourdaining it around the world, I guess. Or
cool.
So that's going to be kind of cool. Moving on to Marvel. We got confirmation of basically all of the Marvel stuff that was rumored. We got all of it confirmed, even the coolest stuff. So we got confirmation of the Vision and Scarlet Witch Wanda Maximoff series. It will be called WandaVision. I don't know about the title; it's a little weird.
Yeah,
but Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany will be both starring in that as their characters, Vision and Scarlet Witch. That was previously rumored. We also got confirmation of the Loki series starring Tom Hiddleston, which was also previously rumored. We got confirmation of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I was going to say Snowman. Remember that movie? Falcon and the Snowman?
Kind of.
Okay. Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan will be teaming up to be in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which was also rumored before. And then I mentioned it before, and this one I was a little skeptical of, but I'm glad that this one's really going to happen. And that is a What If animated series.
Sweet.
A Marvel What If animated series. And they have confirmed that the first episode, or one of the first episodes, will be what if Peggy Carter is the one who became the super soldier and Steve Rogers used a Stark suit as a scrawny kid.
That's awesome.
So
I'm a big fan of the Elseworlds in DC.
Yes.
And I'm
what if
the
Marvel's
cool answer to that, so I'm all for it.
Cast members will return to voice the characters, which may be a hint that it's mostly going to cover stuff and characters that we've already seen before. But you may actually think about it, the What If may be the first place that we see any of the Fox characters, the Four or the X-Men or something like that. So it's possible that the What If series may be the first time that we get to see those characters. So, but we'll just have to wait and see. So yeah, that's Marvel. Exciting stuff. Now, Star Wars. All the Star Wars films will be available on Disney Plus at day one. All 8 films that are out. Actually, yes, all 8 films that are out will be available. Episodes 1 through 8 will all be available on Disney Plus day one. Within the first year of Disney Plus, episode 9 will also be available, as well as all the other movies that have come out this year, including Captain Marvel, Frozen, whatever else. All of them will be available. A direct streaming live action movie called Noelle, starring Anna Kendrick, will be debuting within months of launch. Was before we told you about the Cassian Andor series, which had been confirmed, and that Diego Luna would be reprising his role as Cassian and we speculated whether it was a possibility that we would see Tudyk back as K2SO, and that was confirmed in the Disney Plus presentation that Tudyk will be returning to be K2SO, and that is very exciting to learn about that series. Another original film called Togo, which the description sounds like basically Balto, but who am I? Starring Willem Dafoe, tells the real-life tale of a man and his sled dog's incredible journey through the Alaskan tundra. Look for that sometime during year one. And probably one of the most exciting news besides Jeff Goldblum, Phineas and Ferb coming back in a movie on Disney Plus, and that will be sometime during the first year as well.
Cool.
That is going to be, yes, I am so happy for that. Also, we previously talked about the High School Musical, the series, which is the full official name of the series is...
Oh.
Let me say that again.
Say it again.
High School Musical, the series.
Wow. Okie doke then.
That is coming to Disney Plus sometime during year one. The numbers on Disney Plus, 7,500 plus past episodes on air and off air in the first year. 100 plus recent movies, 400 plus library titles, 25 plus brand new original series, and 10 plus brand new movies and specials. Those are the numbers on Disney Plus. That'll be all within the first year. Now, what you may or may not have been waiting for. Oh, and of course, I forgot to mention The Mandalorian, but we will get to, obviously, The Mandalorian, more about The Mandalorian in a little bit. That will also be there at launch. But the information we wouldn't been waiting for all this time. When is Disney Plus start?
Hey, when does it start?
November 12th.
You knew all this time and you made us wait?
Yes.
Wait, it's happening November 12th?
Yes, November 12th is the day that Disney Plus launches.
Why'd you even hype it up, man? That's so long.
I know.
Now I gotta wait how many more months?
But the good news is it is launching at an introductory price as promised. And I just mind you, this was announced mere days after Netflix announced that they were raising all of our they had raised all of our prices to $12.99 for the basic Netflix subscription.
Yeah.
Disney Plus will roll out at a bargain, considering all the stuff that has been announced, of $6.99 a month, or $69.99 for 1 year, which means you would get 2 months free.
Cool.
Which is very similar to the deal that the CBS app has. I like that they offer the year thing. Now, there is word that, but we haven't heard anything about it yet, that there will be most likely a Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus bundle.
Combo pack.
Yes. There's been no word about how that would work or how much that will be. There may even be bundles that will be Disney Plus and Hulu only, and maybe Disney Plus and ESPN only. So hopefully they have different options for the bundles, that it's almost kind of like getting cable, where you can just choose what you want. So that's we'll find out more about that later. As of right now, all you need to know is November 12th, $6.99 a month, or $69.99 for the year.
Better deal if you buy it all at once.
Well, obviously.
And they can't jack the price up on you for a year.
Right. I mean, a lot of people are speculating that they're going to keep this price for at least a year. It's probably going to be very similar to A-List, where they're probably going to at least lock in
for 12
for
months.
at least even if you do only the monthly, they'll probably let it be the cheaper price because they want people to get in there and do it. They may even leave it that price. I mean, just as an example, I mean, not quite as big, but WWE Network was $9.99 at launch. And they've added thousands of hours more programming from what they were at launch, and yet they've never raised the price. It's still just $9.99 a month. Now, granted, this is
more than that for just wrestling is excessive, I think.
Right. Well, I mean, that's true. I mean, but they have added a lot more stuff. I mean, they added a lot more back shows and stuff like that. Tons of original programming that wasn't there at the beginning. So, I mean, they've made it more worth the money, but haven't raised the price. So, I mean, this is a little bit different. This is only $6.99. Yeah. But I mean, even if it doesn't
introductory offer,
even if it doesn't max out at $9.99 within 3 years, I think that's a huge deal as far as I'm concerned. So, I mean, if they could keep it under $9.99 for 3 years, I think they'll be doing a big thing as far as I'm concerned.
I think so too.
One more thing that I forgot to mention, actually, and you'll be kind of interested. Both of you guys would be interested in this one. Is a Walt Disney Imagineering documentary series. It'll be a new documentary series that chronicles the 65-plus year history of Walt Disney Imagineering. And it'll have parallel storylines of people, the craft, and the business.
I'll give you the business.
It's being created by Leslie Iwerks.
Oh, cool.
Nice. That's cool.
Series includes exclusive interviews and never-before-seen footage from Disney parks around the world, and that will be available at launch.
Nice. I love stuff like that.
I also completely forgot we've mentioned it before. This isn't really new information, but we mentioned it before. They did show the first photo from it. Available at launch will be the live-action Lady and the Tramp film.
Oh, okay.
They showed the first photo from that as part of the interface. There'll be another little series called Timmy Failure, based on a book that I've never heard of.
Okay.
And all of the recent or upcoming releases that will be available within the first year are Captain Marvel, Dumbo, Endgame, Aladdin, Toy Story 4, Lion King, Maleficent 2, Frozen 2, and Star Wars Episode 9. All of those will be available within the first year of... I believe Captain Marvel is guaranteed for launch, as well as probably Dumbo, and possibly even Endgame, especially if it doesn't launch, if it's not launching until November. So, Tim, you were wondering. Here's more information on the library. By the end of year one, Disney Plus will house more than the 75,000 episodes of television, 500 movies. Below is a sampling of content available at launch. And there's a lot more here than just the signature one. So it's really, really confusing because 101 Dalmatians, Bugs Life, Goofy Movie, Extremely Goofy Movie, Bambi, Bao, Big Hero 6, Born in China, Cars, Fantasia, Finding Dory, Finding Nemo, Free Solo, Frozen, Fun and Fancy Free, Hercules, High School Musical, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, Inside Out, Iron Man, Lady and the Tramp, Lilo and Stitch, Mary Poppins. I'm not going to read all this. It's a lot. Zootopia, WALL-E, Up, Tron, Toy Story, Thor, Dark World, Three Caballeros, Sword in the Stone, yada, yada, yada. Speaking of Three Caballeros, it is not coming to Disney Plus yet. We spoke about Three Caballeros
Bastards!
A while ago. What was that, 6 months, almost a year ago? We talked about Three Caballeros. That
it was like a special only in Portugal or something.
No, it's in the Philippines.
Philippines.
It was
one of those countries.
Yes, it was only in the Philippines. We speculated back then that it might end up on the streaming service. We got no news whether it's going to be in the streaming service, but we do have a new promotional image that has been renewed for a season 2. When we haven't even seen season 1 yet. So you have to presume that the fact that it's been at least confirmed for a season 2 in general hopefully means that we're going to get it on Disney Plus at some point. So Legend of the Three Caballeros has a season 2. So if we have any listeners that are in the Philippines, screw you. No, I'm just kidding. But enjoy Three Caballeros, Legend of Three Caballeros season 2. And you can see all of that before we even get to see season 1. All right, so that's Disney Plus. So I was talking about Endgame. Endgame has had its launch just after we had our last podcast on the 6th, I believe it was. They launched the 5th or the 6th. They launched the media blitz for Endgame, and it started at DCA.
Yeah, it did.
They had all of the Avengers were there. They had a big platform set up there in front of near the Hyperion, and they had a big presentation, and they announced some charity stuff, right?
Yeah.
I don't remember the exact details of that, but they announced some charity stuff. That's pretty cool. And some of the Avengers got to go see Galaxy's Edge.
Oh,
they let them back there?
Yeah.
Wow.
Escorted by Bob Iger himself. Here's a picture of...
'Cause I know they visited the park.
Here's a picture of Paul Rudd and Brie Larson with Bob Iger in Galaxy's Edge. We don't know who else got to be part of this little secret tour, but they got to see part of that. Brie Larson herself. Spoiler, it's most awesome.
Oh,
It's most awesome.
That's too much information.
I know, right?
Too much
It's just way too
information.
much information, especially going into Star Wars Celebration. I mean, we just can't do it with the no spoilers. Spoilers. So, Star Wars Celebration.
Uh-oh.
Come on. Celebrate good times. Yeah. So, Star Wars Celebration started on well, I mean, technically it was Thursday. There wasn't really anything happened Thursday, but it was going on while everybody was watching while we were all watching, or while I was watching the Disney Plus, people were coming in on their airplanes and all kinds of stuff and wondering whether they were going to get snowed on. Spoilers, they did. The Star Wars Celebration started on Friday. Itself started Friday morning, just like it always does, with a panel about the movie. And, of course, this movie, in this case, being Star Wars Episode 9, that movie that people have been crying for a trailer for the longest. They've been crying for a title for the longest. Well, we got both of those.
Were they still crying?
I think they were still crying. Either because they were crying because of joy, or they were crying because they were already some of the bitches that are going to cry anyways about stuff, and they already have been complaining about what's been shown. But without further ado, let's wait. No, not yet.
Are we going to jump to it?
We're going to jump to it, but first, I just want to say that they had the panel, of course. Kathleen Kennedy came out. JJ came out. Billy D. Williams came out. All right, so yes, they had brought everybody, all of the cast were brought on stage, and just like at Star Wars Celebration, of course, this isn't the first time we were meeting BB-8, but at Star Wars Celebration Anaheim in 2015, they brought out a working BB-8 onto the stage, and BB-8 came onto the stage this time. He was joined on stage by a new droid called Dio. And he's just basically a megaphone on wheels, I guess. He looks like a megaphone on wheels. You've seen him, right?
No, I haven't.
That's Dio. That is the new droid.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, he looks like a megaphone on a wheel.
Well, that's kind of cool.
He is going to be BB-8's new buddy.
He's going to be shouting, huh?
Yes, he is too loud. Way too loud. We do get to see him in the trailer, just briefly with BB-8. But let's check out the trailer.
We've passed on all we know. 1,000 generations live in you now. But this is your fight.
That guy's scary.
I got goosebumps the first time I saw that.
He's
And
back.
And then I watched it like 10 more times.
Yeah, I was like, wait, is that who I think it is? Because
Well, it ain't your mama.
no, it wasn't my mama. But right after I seen that, that's when I texted you. I was like, who's laughing?
I think I said your mama.
You did. Now you said it wasn't.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
Yes, we have the Emperor.
Yeah, I mean,
Bring
I
it
don't
full
know what to
circle.
make of that.
I mean, as it should be. I mean, the Emperor's kind of been basically the Sauron of Star Wars anyways. It seems only fitting that, I mean, just like as in the Lord of the Rings, or if you look at The Hobbit through the Lord of the Rings, there's always the big villain is through there, the whole thing. And, I've seen people say that what if the awakening that Snoke referred to in The Force Awakens was not Rey at all, it was the Emperor.
Wait, say that one more time?
In the very first Force Awakens trailer, and in Force Awakens, the Snoke tells Kylo there has been awakening.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I
I
can
have
see that.
felt it.
Yeah.
And then, I've seen people, well, what if that was actually the Emperor and not Rey that he felt or whatever. I mean, we don't really have enough information. I mean, like
Definitely
I said,
not.
it perfectly makes sense to me if they want to bring him back. I mean, he is, everything transpired was because of him. He set everything that happened in motion. Why shouldn't everything come back to him in some way that, everything should have to go through him in the end? So,
Well,
at least to bring a close to the Skywalker saga of these 9 films.
Now, speaking of Skywalker,
Rise of Skywalker. The Rise of Skywalker was the title, which I'm not sure, but I mean, other than like in the old days, as far as I know, that's the first time that we've gotten the title reveal through a trailer.
Well, I mean, the trailer's released at Celebration. The titles have been released at Celebration.
No,
so
the
they
titles
just kind
have been
of
released
combined them.
before the trailers usually.
Oh, really? Okay.
We knew the title of Force Awakens before we saw the first Force Awakens trailer. We knew the title of Last Jedi before we saw the first trailer for Last Jedi.
No, what I mean is that the trailers have been released at Celebration, and the names have been released at Celebration since
No.
it's the last.
This is the first name that's been revealed at Celebration. Yeah, so the Rise of Skywalker. So, of course, there's been many... what does that mean?
They haven't had a character's name and a title before.
No, but there's speculation. Does this mean that Skywalker is a character? Is Skywalker mean something else? Is Skywalker, people have speculated, is Skywalker what the new name of the Jedi are going to be? Or something like that. At this point, because the first trailer was revealed at Comic-Con or at Celebration, we probably won't get the second trailer until maybe D23. I'm guessing we're going to get it at D23.
Well, if it
That's
comes
what I'm
out
going to
in
put my money on.
December- D23's in July this year? August. Yeah.
I'm putting my money on D23. If not San Diego Comic-Con, but I'm going to say D23 is when we're going to get the second trailer for the Rise of Skywalker. Lots of other things we'll have to find out between now and then anyways. So we shall see.
What if instead of a name like that, they had gone with something like Star Wars? Do you like Chiquita Bananas? And that was the official name of the
I don't
film.
like bananas though.
But if
like
that was the
bananas either.
official name of the film, I mean,
Only if it was banana bread.
do you like Chiquita Banana Bread,
I like banana bread.
but not bananas?
No. So hot on the heels of the trailer and the title announcement, Rise of Skywalker, we got the news from Hollywood Reporter and interview with Kathleen Kennedy that they're working on the next 10 years of Star Wars.
Yes.
Now,
After they take a little break.
besides that, they are going to take a break after Episode 9 is over to basically allow the Game of Thrones guys and Rian Johnson to start working on their things that they are going to have. I don't know if we can expect to see anything about those before D23. We may not hear about either of those until next year. But
you're probably going to tell me we've already talked about this, but the Game of Thrones guys are doing a Star Wars trilogy?
Yes.
Awesome.
Well, we don't know if they're doing a trilogy. We just know they're doing something Star Wars.
Okie dokie.
Rian Johnson is doing a trilogy, as far as we know.
I know that part.
The Kathleen Kennedy said we are looking at the next saga. We are not just looking at another trilogy. We're really looking at the next 10 years or more. So the Rise of Skywalker is the culmination of the Skywalker saga. It's by no means the culmination of Star Wars. She's now sitting down with the Game of Thrones guys and Rian Johnson. They're all sitting down to talk about where do we go next. They've had conversations about what the possibilities might be, and now they're going to be locking it down. They have a summit on the calendar for next month between all of them. So that will be the next things that will be being worked on as far as beyond Episode 9 will be the Game of Thrones guys and the Rian Johnson stuff. So obviously we probably won't really hear too much about those this year, I'm imagining. This year is going to be basically all about Disney Plus, The Mandalorian, and Episode 9. So probably won't make the mistake of trying to have too many things going on at once like they did with Solo. Of course, I can only imagine that the announcement that they had 10 years of Star Wars plan just made all of the stupid fanboys melt from disgust. And just, hopefully their minds are just blown. Or either that or they're happy because they have 10 more years of
tears.
Tears to... I said Kathleen Kennedy could bathe in 10 years of fanboy, also on Friday, they had the panel for the ILM X Lab Vader Immortal that we talked about before.
Yeah.
I don't know how. Honestly, none of us can afford to are going to be able to be getting an Oculus. So, it looks cool. I'm just like it's all just like it's stuff for rich people, rich Star Wars fans. If any of you out there has an Oculus, cool.
I have binoculars.
So yeah. Speaking on the subject of the return of Palps, Kathleen Kennedy had this to say.
Big shocker in this trailer, of course, the reappearance of Palpatine. What can you tell us about this? How long was this in the cards? Was this sort of in the blueprint from Episode 7?
This has been in the blueprint for a long time. Yeah, we had not landed on exactly how we might do that, but yes, it's
always to be in Episode 9.
Yeah.
Working with Ian was among the most wonderful experiences I've ever had. He is like a breathtakingly good actor, and it's I think it's going to be a lot of fun for audience.
Of course, that was JJ talking at the end there about working with Ian McDermott, who plays, of course, Palpatine in the original prequels, and then in the Emperor in the original trilogy, and then, of course, he's coming back to be Palps, Emperor Palps. I forgot to say that in the Episode 9 panel, they played the trailer. Of course, at the end there, you hear the Emperor laugh. And then, to everybody's surprise and amazement, when the lights came back up, Ian McDermott was standing there, and he was just like, "Play it again." And then he dropped the mic, and then they played the trailer again.
That is cool.
He just did the Emperor voice and was like, "Play it again." So that was kind of cool. And now the next day, next morning was the big the Galaxy's Edge panel, which I just want to say real quick, the Galaxy's. Oh yeah, hi. Grr. Boo to you. That's the original. Settle down. The Galaxy's Edge panel had a kind of a... to me, the Galaxy's Edge panel, which I watched in its entirety, was kind of disappointing, to be honest.
Yes.
Number one, what was seemingly...
Oh, real quick. It started at, 9 o'clock?
Yes, 9 a.m. All of the big panels started at 9 a.m.
I was up for that, so yeah,
Okay.
I missed sleep.
What was seemingly the biggest announcement of the Galaxy's Edge panel was spoiled by... Because let's see, this was posted at 9:23. They probably didn't announce it until after 9:30, like halfway through the... more than halfway through the panel. They were pretty much just saying things that we already knew, showing us pictures that we had already seen, telling us things that we already heard from all of the big info dump a few weeks ago. And then their big first announcement that they do was spoiled by about 15 minutes from Variety, who had already posted it, and I had already reposted it. And I was just like, well, that seems disappointing. And that's that Coca-Cola has created a new bottle to use for Galaxy's Edge.
Several new bottles.
As I said, this was posted at 9:23 our time, which is probably about at least 10 minutes before they dropped the big reveal before that. So that was kind of disappointing, because then they played... they had teased the day before. I don't know if you had saw the post that they had posted showing the Stormtroopers guarding the red box. They had posted it actually the day before.
Who's they?
I don't see it. I don't know.
Okay, that's cool.
Somebody had posted a picture of Stormtroopers. I thought it was Disney Parks, but it could have been somebody else. But they had posted a picture of... maybe it got deleted. I don't know. They had posted a picture of two Stormtroopers guarding a red box, and that's all it was. Yeah, so they played the video.
What was that? Look, there.
Somebody stole her Coke. Obviously, there's no talking in that, and that was pretty pointless. But basically, the Stormtroopers guarding a red box. They get distracted, they run away. Somebody comes over and opens it, and there's Coke and stuff inside. So yeah, Coca-Cola has teamed with Disney to create quote-unquote brand new bottles for Galaxy's Edge with cool little lids, and they have new wraps on them, and they have a new stylized Auerbesh Coca-Cola logo, as well as Sprite and Diet Coke. And they also have a new wrapped water bottle, which basically just like, what kind of water would you say that is? Probably by the bottle. I don't know. Whoever has that style of water. It's basically on the same order as how they have the water rebranded as Gilly Water in Harry Potter at Universal. But they have... like I said, bottles that have the Coke in Auerbesh, the Star Wars language, stylized, look like Coke. Basically, they're the round Christmas ornament Coke bottles.
Yeah.
Now, do you think that these will they be selling regular ones when these get sold out because everybody wants to take 10 home with them?
They can. This is going to be all there's going to be allowed to sell inside of, because otherwise, what's the point of it? They better make sure they have enough, because otherwise, if they run out, then they can't sell anything. Because
they should probably count on every single person buying like 5 or 6 of them.
So I mean, it depends on how much they're going to cost. I know Michael was making the joke about them costing a lot of money.
Elizabeth thought the same thing, that they might cost more.
They shouldn't cost any more. It would be really dumb if they charged more for a soda than what they do in the rest of the park, just because it's a different bottle. As I joked, it's basically the bottle looks like it's the bottle from the Christmas ornament, round Christmas ornament bottles that they've had in the past. And then they've just created a new fancy lid for it. I've seen a lot of people, they only unveiled Coke, Diet Coke, and Sprite. I've seen a lot of people already complain about where's Coke Zero, because, Coke Zero's a big thing now. So
it's yummy.
They better get on that.
I have some in my truck.
Everybody in the panel was given a red shirt with the the new Coca-Cola Auerbach logo on it, which was kind of cool. That was a big announcement. That's it for the Galaxy's Edge. They got Coke.
They got nothing. That's all.
No, I'm just kidding. No, I mean they did. There's a couple other things. We're talking about in the cantina, and they played a couple songs that would be one of the new songs that the cantina band had apparently learned. And then they played this really weird song that apparently DJ Rex is going to be spinning some tunes.
Yeah.
I didn't like that one at all, but I was particularly fond of this one, which I think has a certain vibe to it. If you'll agree with me.
I like it.
It's got a Muppet Show vibe.
Yeah.
I'm like, at the Muppet Show tonight.
It also kind of sounds like Transylvania 65000 too.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I got out of it.
Well, I like it. I dig it. I don't have the DJ Rex one, which like I said, I didn't really care for it, so I wasn't really paying attention. We got a reveal of the Hondo animatronic, which looks really cool. We got a little bit of video of that.
Oh, hello, my friends. I am Hondo Onaka, and this is Onaka Transport Solutions. Today, I am offering the opportunity of a lifetime. I need flight crews to transport this valuable merchandise across the galaxy. Pilots to navigate, engineers to operate the ship, and gunners to defend the shipments. And that is where you come in.
So yeah, that's pretty much going to be the probably the intro animatronic that you'll see of him. He pretty much tells you right then what's going to be going on in the ride and what the positions are and all that. So that's really neat. Can't wait to see that. We got the confirmation that, of course, obviously that's Jim Cummings reprising his role as Hondo. We got the confirmation that Paul Rubens would be reprising his role as Captain Rex, or as in this case, DJ Fresh Rex, DJ R3X, and he will be reprising his role. And as well, the original Kenyan voice actor, will be coming back to. They flew to Kenya to bring this actor back, who was the original voice of Nine Nub. Lando's co-pilot in Return of the Jedi. So that's kind of really, really going all out. And then they revealed that Frank Oz would be reprising his role of Yoda in Galaxy's Edge. So
I was thinking Grover.
I'm like, really? So that means Yoda's going to have some sort of a role in Galaxy's Edge? That's interesting to know. And then it was announced before, and apparently some people didn't hear it because they thought this was news, that, of course, John Williams will be composing music for Galaxy's Edge. We already knew that. We've already heard. And we got just a little preview video and a little excerpt of some of his music from that. Yeah.
Coolness.
Sounds cool.
Now, let me interrupt you real quick.
Go ahead.
We have a friend of the podcast who is actually...
We have friends?
Yes, we do.
All right.
Who is actually going to be one of the villagers there in Galaxy's Edge. And he got to do a costume try-on, which included the Raiden hat.
Yeah.
He said he loved the hat. It looked really cool, and got some compliments, said he looked good in the hat. So... he's going to be working there. It's going to be cool, and I can't wait to Go over there and visit him. And no names.
No. About during this panel, and I think right after the panel, they revealed on the Star Wars show stage, a representative of Funko revealed that they would be having in Galaxy's Edge, or I believe in Galaxy's Edge, or maybe it'll be in the park, that there will be a exclusive DJ Rex pop that will be coming that will be considered a exclusive. I don't know if it'll be if it's in Galaxy's Edge, it would have to have different packaging. That's the only problem, is that if it's regular packaging, you have to figure it's probably going to be just in the park. Then it's not going to be actually in Galaxy's Edge.
Tomorrowland?
Since, probably. That's what I'm guessing.
Star Trader?
So we'll just have to see about that. But yeah, as I said, that panel wasn't really worth waking up for,
No.
to be honest. Actually, if you had kept watching the live stream after the panel was over, you would have went, and they would have went over, and actually Eckstein actually went over and was taking a tour of the. I don't know if you saw that the Galaxy's Edge display that they had set up on the convention floor had not only a Rise of the Resistance vehicle that you could take pictures in, but they had a revolving display. Where the first day they had the costumes of the First Order and the Resistance. Then they had the droid stuff. They had the lightsaber builder stuff. They had some of the jewelry and other stuff. They had little knickknacks. They had the plushes. They were rotating the displays every day. Like one of the days they had certain displays, and then they took all that stuff out and they put in the new stuff the next day. I think the next day they had the droids and the lightsabers, and then they took all that stuff out, and the next day they had all of the Doc Ondar stuff, and then the lightsaber or one of the other guys or something like that. So they were rotating the displays. So like I said, if you had stuck around, she went over there and she checked out some of that stuff, and then she went over and was actually on the Star Wars show stage with Andy and Anthony, and they actually came out and they presented her with the Ahsoka lightsabers that are going to be sold at the Legacy lightsabers that are going to be sold. And I don't know if you saw any of the pictures of any of the lightsabers, but the Legacy lightsabers are all going to come in cool cases that like open up, like clamshell cases, and they have the little logo that goes with whoever the character is. Hers has the Fulcrum logo from Rebels, and you open the case and both of her lightsabers were there, and then they have the removable blades just like the newer Star Wars ones that they've had.
So the blade is sold like as a separate piece?
No, I believe it comes with it.
But
or it might be
does
sold
it
separately. I don't know.
Or that's what
No. It's a separate. You don't. It's not in the case.
It's not in the case.
The case has the lightsaber hilts themselves.
Right.
The lightsabers look amazing. The Legacy lightsabers, in particular, the ones that are all specific to characters. They have several different characters that they have lightsabers for. The Builder saber itself looks pretty cool. I think they look way better quality than the ones in the park. Besides the fact that you're actually going to be able to have the kyber crystal inside. The quality of the Builder saber parts looks way better than what's in the park now. But definitely looking forward to that. So there was a lot of stuff going on with the Galaxy's Edge. I mean, there wasn't really a whole lot left for them to announce. I mean, I feel like that they were betting a lot on the Coke announcement, and somehow that just didn't really. I mean, the fact that was the giveaway was the Coke shirt. So I mean,
the fact that they're going to sell probably 5 times the amount of Coca-Cola products just because people want to keep them or put them on eBay or whatever.
Which is smart for if anything, for Coke. All right, so later on, this was on Saturday, of course. We're still continuing with on Saturday. Later on Saturday, we got the announcement trailer and the panel for the upcoming EA/Respawn game called Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. And we got the reveal that the main character in that will be played by Cameron Monaghan, who those who have watched Gotham recently know as their quote-unquote Joker, who has been around since Season 1. And let's check that out.
wasn't always like this. But now, there are 3 rules to survive. Don't stand out. Accept the past. Trust no one. The galaxy's changed.
Yeah, look out!
Whatever you do, don't reach within. Don't stand out. Accept the past.
Execute Order 66.
Trust no one. Trust only in the Force.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to play that game.
Yeah, it's story only. I mean, unless you got time to sit around and play a story. I mean, I'll play it because it's Star Wars probably, but I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it seems a lot like Force Unleashed. I don't know if did you ever play that, Tim? Force Unleashed? No, neither of them. Yeah, I never played them either. I didn't have a system at the time, so. All right, so then on Sunday we got the panel for The Mandalorian, which other than introducing basically characters and us finding out character names, there isn't really a lot to report on The Mandalorian, except for that it will be there at launch. We don't know if it's going to be released every week. We still have no word on how Disney Plus is going to release things, whether it's going to be a dump like Netflix, or whether it's going to be a weekly thing like CBS does. We discussed this before because we were talking about it. But so people were mapping out. There's 8 episodes of The Mandalorian, and if they release it weekly, we'll be like on episode 4 or something like that when Rise of Skywalker comes out. So
okay.
We will have seen at least 4 episodes of The Mandalorian before that comes out. But there's nothing for me to play because they played 2 clips that we weren't allowed to see on the live stream. So of course, as always, when people that are there get exclusive things for it to see, people that aren't there don't get to see those things, complain.
Yeah.
Because they think that they're entitled to see everything. And I've said this before, and I've told people this before, but if you want to see everything, go to the damn convention.
Exactly. You knew when it was.
I mean, where were you 10 years ago, 15 years ago when Comic-Con and you had to be there to see it because nothing was released out of Comic-Cons and conventions and stuff. You might get a description or you might get a shitty cam, which basically there was a lot of shitty cams going around of the Mandalorian footage. I saw a little bit of it, but I'm like, well, you know what? They don't want us to see it. So, I mean, I can wait. It's November. It's not that big of a deal. I'll see it. I'll see it when I see it, rather than see somebody's shitty cam footage of it. I don't need to do that. But all I gotta say is that the biggest delight for me from the Mandalorian panel was them introducing Carl Weathers and him coming around because we had announced once before that Carl Weathers was going to be on, and of course that's real exciting because I like him. He's a big Rocky and a big Predator fan, and he came out and he got a big cheer from the audience. He came around and he just looked straight out the audience. I want you. I want you. And he like in Rocky at the beginning of the final match, he was like, I want you. I was like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Follow Creed in Star Wars.
There you go.
Which is cool because for those that don't know, I may have said on the podcast before, Carl Weathers was up for the role of Lando Calrissian, but I think because of commitments with Rocky, he was kind of immediately, passed over for Billy D because of commitments with Rocky. So that was very, very nice that he's able to come full circle and be part of Star Wars finally after all this time. And then later on Sunday, we got the panel for the return of Clone Wars. Now they don't make it seem like that we're not going to have Clone Wars. They make it seem like they're going to have to wait a little while to see Clone Wars. So I don't know if we might not get Clone Wars until maybe later next year. Dave Filoni definitely implied that he's still working on it because they showed it. The footage they showed, some of the footage they showed wasn't even complete. A lot of it still had a lot of shading and post type of animation work that needed to still be done on it. It didn't even have it; just had a temp track for the audio as far as the soundtrack. So, but he did have a trailer to show us. It looks to be pretty cool. Obviously, it's going to have the return of, if you remember and watch it from in order of Clone Wars, the animation is obviously a little bit closer to Rebels type animation because that's the animation has obviously been improved on. It's kind of a cross between Clone Wars animation and Rebels animation with the nice sharpness and brightness of Rebels, but still the style of Clone Wars is still there. But the return of Ahsoka. And I like this trailer because at the end you get kind of almost a Emperor moment with the return of a certain character who, for us is not really returning because we just saw him last year. So.
I'm not coming back.
You are making a mistake.
Maybe. But I have to sort this out on my own. Without the council. And without you.
Where exactly are you from?
I used to live in the upper levels of Coruscant. You're probably better off down here. With the Jedi running around, starting wars.
I've watched so many of my brothers fall during this war. Fives, Echo, Heavy.
Master Yoda, your thoughts on how to win the war?
No longer certain that one ever does win a war. I am.
You'll never see any Jedi around here. It's not safe down here. Things could have gotten messy for you. That's why I've got my ship.
What squad are you taking in? Experimental Unit Clone Force 99.
The cavalry has arrived! Company, attention!
Glad to have you back, Commander.
was new. Maybe a little better. I was hoping for Kenobi. Why are you here?
Yeah, we got some fake crowd noise right there. No, that was real. That was the actual crowd. That was Maul at the end of there.
Oh.
That was Sam Witwer as Darth Maul. We've spoken about this before, that this will cover the Siege of Mandalore, and of course, at this period of time, Darth Maul is in control of Mandalore, and it will feature a huge lightsaber battle at the end between Ahsoka and Darth Maul. And they took this lightsaber battle so seriously that for the first time in Disney animation, they mocapped Ray Park doing the moves that they wanted Maul to make.
So they could stick it in a cartoon. Or
so they
something.
can. They wanted Maul,
anything.
because in Rebels Maul has a few quick altercations and things, and he has his final battle with that he loses very swiftly to Obi-Wan Kenobi. Spoilers, but they wanted this to look like legit, like Phantom Menace Maul, and they felt that the only way for them to do that was to actually take Ray Park and stick him in a mocap suit and have him perform all of the moves that they wanted Maul to do. So that way he looked and felt like Maul.
How many years ago did he do those original things?
Well, this year is the 20th anniversary of the Phantom Menace, so you figured 21 years ago, most likely he did those moves.
Wow. Let's
But
hope he can do them just as good.
the fact that he could still get back into, and you could see that anybody who is really a Star Wars fan could just look at the few seconds of footage and already realize that that's Ray Park, because he has a style that if you look at him in his battle at the end of Phantom Menace, that he just has a unmistakable style that he brings to Darth Maul, that it's gonna kick up these episodes up a notch, and particularly that lightsaber battle. So I cannot wait to see that and bring a close finally to the Clone Wars, the way it was finally meant to be brought to a close. Speaking of Phantom Menace, a lot of love was given to Ahmed Best during the weekend at Star Wars Celebration after he had came out earlier this year, I think it was, and spoke at length about his experiences with bullying and people just harassing him over the character of Jar Jar Binks and everything after Phantom Menace, and just the terrible crap that he had to put up with from the shitty fans. And it was really great to see him there and receive a lot of love. As I said, this year, actually next month, will be the 20th anniversary of the release of Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Yes, feel old. Everybody who that makes feel old should definitely feel old. They had on Monday, the final day of the celebration, they had a 20th anniversary panel, which I haven't watched yet. I actually didn't want to watch that. I forgot to set my alarm, and I was just like, after 3 days of waking up early, I was just like, I don't mind this extra day of this sleeping in, so I want to watch that at some point. But as far as I know, if you go on the Star Wars YouTube channel, you can see a lot of the videos and a lot of the interviews, and I believe they have a lot of the full panels that weren't on the live stream, including I believe the full panel with Alan Tudyk had a full panel that I believe is on there, as well as the full Phantom Menace, the full Galaxy's Edge, the full Episode 9 panel, and all of them are on there. And of course, Star Wars Celebration always ends with the closing ceremonies, which in some past years, with the notable exception of the end of Celebration 2017 in Orlando, almost every celebration in the past has always ended up with the announcement of where the next celebration will be. As I said, the last celebration 2 years ago in Orlando did not make that announcement, to many, many people's chagrin. Well, there was no wait to find out where it would be, and it is not stupid because it is back here in Anaheim, much to the chagrin of people who don't want it here. And I have my much apologies to the people who live in Australia or New Zealand or that area who have not yet had a celebration sent your way. Hopefully you guys will get thrown a bone because you guys definitely deserve one. And then incidentally, it's been 11 years since there was a celebration in Japan. So that was the last time you guys even had one remotely close to you. But yes, Star Wars Celebration will be coming back to Anaheim in 2020.
Cool.
Excited, yes.
That means we all get to go.
Yes. Just be prepared that last time, I mean, I'm sure tickets will probably go on sale sometime this year. So just be prepared for that. And we'll see you all next year in sunny Anaheim, because just to cap off Star Wars Celebration, the fact that we've been talking for months about how there was a possibility with being in Chicago that there might snow. Well, they went into what was a wet weekend and finished off with a very, very white Sunday and Monday where it snowed very heavily, and I think the only people that were happy about that were the Snow Trooper cosplayers.
That's funny.
Because they got to reenact the Battle of Hoth outside.
That's funny.
Other than that, I think the rest were like, I saw many, many people that were like, yes, back in California where there is no snow.
Thank the Lord.
So, all right. So I guess that does it for Star Wars Celebration. It was exciting. It was
honestly
cool.
surprised
it was,
they didn't announce more stuff.
Like what?
I don't know. I expected at least 10 big things. And I felt like we got
10. Why would you be expecting 10 big things? We got pretty much everything we were expecting. I don't know if we really got anything we weren't expecting.
That's what I meant. Something we weren't expecting.
Well, I mean, it's way too early for anything about the Cassian series. I mean, people are already asking since there's no more movies after in the foreseeable future, what possibly could there be to talk about at Star Wars Celebration Anaheim next year? And just off the top of my head, the Cassian K2SO series, the Star Wars Resistance, which, I forgot to mention, Star Wars Resistance did have a panel on Monday after the Phantom Menace. They got to see the whole first episode, so there's nothing for me to show you or really tell you about because I don't know. I just know that it's going to continue right where the last episode left off. So for those of you that is interested in, then, but presumably we will have Star Wars Resistance next year. Presumably Mandalorian Season 2 possibly might get an announcement.
Likely they're only going to take 1 year off from the films before they start making additional.
Well, I mean, like I said, depending, most likely next year we would get some sort of announcement about the Game of Thrones or the Rian Johnson films of some sort. There won't be an actual movie to get news about for the first time, actually, since probably Celebration in 2011, whatever the last celebration prior to 2011 was, since Disney bought them in 2012. But it'll be the first celebration with no actual movie pending. But there's still plenty to talk about between the streaming service stuff and the other series that are going on and things like that. So speaking of Bo Peep, we were talking about her earlier, how she's going to get her own short or whatever called Lamp Light Lounge or something. Something about lamps. Bo Peep will be coming to the Disney parks. She will be finding her way to not only Pixar Pier at California Adventure, but also Toy Story Land, Hollywood Studios, and Paris.
Whoa, wee.
And apparently she's also going to be going to all the Disney parks in Asia. We got no word on when she'll be coming around, but as usual, it'll probably be somewhere around the opening of the movie, which will be June 21st.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the day she's going to.
So probably that'll be the day she's going to be here, because pretty much every other time we've had announcements of characters coming to the park, they've always been on the day, for the most part, the day the film opens.
Right.
Now, someone who's not going to be there the day the film opens, but is coming up and making a return to Disney parks, and his first time ever at DCA, right?
Yes.
We got the announcement that Iron Man will be making a return, but only for if you're going to the Disneyland After Dark events.
Yeah, the Heroes Assemble.
The Heroes Assemble. If you're going to one of the 2 nights of the Marvel Disney After Dark events at DCA, you will get to meet Iron Man for the first time in quite some time, since he was at Superhero HQ above Launch Bay.
No, I don't think he was ever there.
Iron Man?
Iron Man suits were there, but I don't think...
I thought Iron Man was there.
No, he wasn't there.
So Iron Man's never been in the parks?
He's never been there, just over there in Hong Kong.
Oh, it was Thor that was in there.
Yes.
Thor has
Thor
never
and
come back.
Spider-Man.
Thor came back briefly for Thor Ragnarok, but then that was it. Okay, so we've never had Iron Man at all.
No, we had never had Iron Man.
Okay, well, I stand corrected. Iron Man for the first time ever!
The first time we saw him was at D23.
Maybe they're saying that
Sure.
only at those 2 events first, and then once they do those 2 events, then they'll introduce.
I wouldn't doubt that. I wouldn't doubt that.
Yeah, because
for the first time in forever.
They're paying for the suit, so.
I mean,
Whoa.
Is it triangle Iron Man or round Iron Man?
You're a round Iron Man.
You're just round.
I'll be a triangle. No, I don't know. It's probably, I'm guessing that they're going to go with round Iron Man, because it's a little bit more of the recognizable. But it's probably going to be based, if anything, on his Avengers Endgame suits, or I mean his Infinity War suit. But we shall see. Anybody that's going to the Disneyland After Dark Marvel event can let us know when they go to that. Are you guys going at all? Neither of
I'm
you?
going.
You're going.
I'm going on the 30th.
You're not
April.
going, Tim?
Or May. Or
No?
Whatever it is.
He shakes his head like as if, oh no, I can't be seen at a Marvel event.
No, I would love to go. I'm not going to spend $100 to go to. I mean, I just don't think the value.
You haven't gone to any of the After Darks?
No, not the After Darks.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so.
Just real quick, if you guys are going to that event, they did say that they're going to be selling the Gauntlets Sipper Cup again. So if you haven't got that yet and you want that, and you're going to the event, you can go and grab that.
Grab it.
Interesting.
Put it on your hand.
And no, Tim, I'm not going to buy 12 of them for you.
Hey, so speaking of World of Color, but not Villainous or Bobcat Goldthwait, but we got the before all this craziness began, we got a little announcement that MaxPass is expanding, or it's already begun, right? Because that was a long time ago.
Yes,
I believe this has already started.
Yeah, it started on the 9th.
Yes, MaxPass has come to both World of Color and to Fantasmic in Disneyland. Where are you getting the or not FastPass? Max? Did I say MaxPass or FastPass?
It's both. MaxPass, FastPass.
Okay, MaxPass, FastPass.
MaxPass is the app.
Right, but you don't have a machine though. Is there machines?
No.
It's just MaxPass.
Yeah,
though.
you can use your phone, the app, to get a FastPass for the shows.
Right.
So that's what's going on now. You can do that on the app, and a lot of people are. I don't understand. People don't understand things. Well, how do you do this? And I'm like, well, it's the same way you get a fast pass for a ride. How is it so?
But on the app.
Yeah, but I mean, they're like, oh, but do I have to wait?
For what?
Because when you get a one for the attraction, you have to wait a certain amount of time before you get another one. So they're thinking that they have to wait after they get one for a show to go to
because
attraction.
they want to see. Oh, it's not going to count towards attraction.
No, it's not.
Right.
It's a show.
Right. So, and they're not pulling out like actual machines or anything. It's just going to be just through the app.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
and I think the machines will still be there
Which ones?
for the show to go up there and grab the ticket for the show. But now they're putting on the app, so you can use the app.
Well, my question is though, if they're doing that, because we know that in the past they've used for World of Color. Usually they use the racers machines for World of Color. Will they be continuing to use the racers machines for World of Color like they have done?
The World of Color has their own machine, the portable ones, like they did for Frozen, the meat.
Oh, okay.
So they go; those are right by Little Mermaid, across from the restrooms.
Okay.
They have 2 carts there, and you go and use, scan your ticket and get the little thing.
Where the Grizzly Peak photo op was.
The Grizzly River Rapids machines for World of Color.
Oh, is that? Oh, I think they have in the past though. I think, but
and then the one for Fantasmic is over there by the, Mark Twain, the entrance over there.
Mark Twain,
and you go up there and same thing. So I think they're still using both of them, but now you can get it on Max Pass on the phone.
Oh, okay.
And of course, you got to pay the extra $15 if you don't have it already on your.
Yeah,
pass.
because last time they had the Fantasmic ones, they were there by the chimichanga cart, right?
You're a chimichanga.
Oh man, you beat me to it.
Is that that's where it is again?
It's by the dock.
Somewhere in that area. Because then, of course, before that, the last place that it had been was in the smoking section.
Yeah.
Before it was the smoking section.
So, yeah, you can use your app if you already have Max Pass on your pass and get your Fast Pass for the shows now. If not, then, of course, you're going to pay the $15 and add it to your park ticket.
Yeah.
All right, so hey, Aladdin is having a sneak peek over, of course, at the Opera House, and that will start on Friday.
So they're doing it at the Opera House again, despite the cluster that was done low.
Yeah. Well, that was for the AP thing,
right?
But we don't need to talk about that because that's going to already pass. So you can go check out the sneak peek of Aladdin over at the Opera House.
That starts this week, right?
That starts on Friday.
Yes, and you will have already missed the AP preview, which is tomorrow night.
And the gift was, so yeah, go check out Aladdin sneak peek over at the Opera House. Going through, I don't know when, probably of course a couple of days after the movie opens. But yeah, you can go check that out.
So Lion King comes out less than 100 days from now. Actually, it was 100 days ago last Wednesday, so now it is 93 days until Lion King comes out.
Hey, did you just do math?
Yes, I did, actually. 100 minus 7. There you go.
Life's not fair, is it, my little friend? While some are born to feast, others spend their lives in the dark. Begging for scraps.
Everything you see exists together in a delicate balance. While others search for what they can take, a true king searches for what he can give. Run away, Simba, and never return. You must take your place in the circle of life.
A pool bum away.
I like those guys.
It's time for the mail?
Yes, it is. And our first email is from Giselle the Gazelle.
How exciting.
Happy birthday.
Her subject line is, I'm alive.
Whoa.
Hey, my bros. Wow. First of all, let me say that I am so sorry. I've been such a sucky emailer. I'm back and better than ever. Spring break was tough for me. I flew to Florida to have my wisdom teeth removed, and I was in bed forever. Thanks for checking on me, Diggs. I haven't been to Disneyland in what feels like years. Please let me know when you all are going next so I can tag along. I've been keeping busy. I have won more month of school and 2 more months of work, school, and then I'm off to Disney World with my family for the summer.
The whole summer?
I guess so.
Wow.
Thank you for the sweet birthday wishes. That was so nice of you. You are the best in the Old West. Hugs and kisses and carrot bun cake dreams. Gee.
Ooh.
That's cool. Well, I'm going to have to remember to let her know when I'm going to the park again. Maybe I'll go on Monday. I don't know. We'll see. But thank you for your email, Giselle, and I'm glad you're better after getting your teeth yanked out, because I know how that feels. Been there, done that. All right, so our next email is from Dan the Mailman, and his subject line is Star Wars Easter eggs.
That would be cool. I mean, they made them a couple years ago, but
Yeah.
I would really like more Easter eggs.
More characters.
More characters.
Yeah,
that
oh, like
look
the Emperor.
eggs. Right, that would look cool on an egg. All right, here's Dan's email. It says, I'm sure there are some, but that's what this email's about. First up, the Rise of Skywalker trailer. Holy shnikes, Chris Farley voice. I don't know if I can do the Holy shnikes, Chris Farley. Can you do that one, Anthony?
No. Yours was close enough.
Yeah, yours.
Holy shnikes! Yeah, I'll try that. Okay. I totally can't wait. Did you see Lando? He looks like he fits right in. I have more to say, but don't want to type it all. And with the Star Wars news that came out this week, I'll be surprised if this episode isn't like 3.5 hours long. We did better, Dan. We really did. We're probably going to be like 2.5. The last thing I'll say about Star Wars is Anaheim 2020. I'm in. And so are we.
Yes.
It'll be like a 4-way mandate.
Whoa.
Now, I meant mandate. Like we have to do
Oh.
it. It's mandated.
I thought it was a bad date.
Of course you're thinking that, because that's... Either way, it's the same thing.
Yes.
It's a mandated mandate.
Okay.
Went egg hunting this last Saturday, which he says Sunday, which happened to be Dapper Day. Got to the park about 11, parked really quick, got on the bus right away, as well as through security. Did the egg hunt in Disneyland first. They seem surprisingly easy to find this year. What do you think, Diggs?
I already gave my opinion on that one.
Well, he's asking specifically.
Well, I talked about the one that they were dirty with all the brush.
Right.
And then there was one over that said the Adventureland Bazaar.
The walkthrough store.
And it wasn't even by there.
The shoplifting store?
Yeah, it wasn't even by there. It was more by Bango Barbecue. So
interesting. Managed to get my Haunted Mansion egg set as well. This year they had the eggs also had prizes inside, which I thought was super cool, and they were different. Each one had a different prize. I don't remember that before, but hey, I'm getting old, so you know. Utilize Max Pass to do a couple of rides before heading over to DCA to do the egg hunt over there. We have all 6 eggs. This one seemed a little bit more difficult than the one at Disneyland. Managed to get on Guardians, which I haven't done in a while. Sup, felt a little sick afterwards.
that's his son.
Oh.
That's my nickname for him.
Sup felt a little sick after Guardians, but he did okay. Completed that one, and then we headed home. A couple of random thoughts. I have been on Dapper Day before, but for some reason I noticed that this one, that most people got to take pictures at different places in the park. There were lines to take pictures by fountains. This worked for me since the ride times were not bad at all, and the park didn't really seem busy until later in the afternoon, and that might have been for food and wine. The brickwork in front of the castle is interesting, and I like the look without the curb. Was taking out curbs part of Project Stardust? Without a curb to easily maneuver around with strollers and meet the requirements? I would say the answer to that is yes.
Yeah.
This is now several places where the curbs are gone, isn't it?
Yep.
Also notice the brickwork. It extends out to the parade route on the other side of the churro cart. Doesn't match. Just random observations.
I saw pictures of that.
Dan would notice that too. I know I would. Probably not going to the park this weekend because of Easter, but we will be there next Sunday morning for awareness for autism.
Awesome.
Unless you know, Endgame.
Well, you know what? I will be at Awareness for Autism on that Sunday too, and then heading to go see Endgame that night.
He ends by saying, "Dan out." P.S. Happy birthday to Giselle.
Yeah, happy birthday.
You know, I applaud Dan for keeping it civil, considering that they are like in a really intense battle for the male person of the era. Of the era. No, I'm just kidding.
This is our Endgame, right?
Endgame.
All right, thank you for your email there, Dan, the mailman. Appreciate that. Hopefully, well, like you said, you'll be there on that Sunday. We're doing that awareness for autism event on Sunday. Go check out Michael the Mail Guy's Facebook page, which is One Big Disney Family Entertainment. Check that out, and you have all the information there for that event. And this year is only outside of the park. There's nothing going on inside in Disneyland. Everyone's going to meet outside, I believe, in the middle of the Esplanade, and then do the walk to downtown Disney and all that. So if you want more information on that, go check out that Facebook page, or you can just email us.
MousePIRE@gmail.com.
All right, that's it. That's it with the emails. If you guys have any your own comments, questions, or tip of the tip of the week, or you have any questions about Galaxy's Edge or Easter eggs or Dumbo, I don't know. Whatever you guys have, all you have to do is email us. Once again,
MousePIRE@gmail.com.
Do you have a special occasion coming up? Looking to personalize your trip with a keepsake? Create customized buttons for birthdays, engagements, family vacations, even bridal parties, or just because. Check out buttonsbydiggs.com today. Buttons by Diggs, Buttons by Diggs. Remember, those are buttons, not pins.
And that's going to do it for this episode of the MousePIRE Podcast. Hey, don't forget to go check out the sneak peek of Aladdin playing over there at the Opera House, you know, where they show Mr. Lincoln and everything.
That one.
And I thought it was funny how Disney actually posted last week how Lincoln was back. And I'm thinking, oh, why are you posting this? He's going to be gone for another whatever weeks again. So, yeah, Aladdin is now in there like Dumbo was. So you can go check out the sneak peek of Aladdin.
The sneak peek of the sneak peek?
No, because that's Thursday and that's already passed.
For them.
Right.
Okie dokie.
But I will be seeing the sneak peek of the sneak peek. Also, don't forget to go check out Egg-Stravaganza over in the parks. You can go do it in downtown Disney, Disneyland, and California Adventure. Get your egg hunt on, just like I did, and Dan the Mailman. So check that out. Oh, yeah, and Sup did it too. I'm sure he had a great time doing that. So check that out. I might, maybe, you know what, maybe I'll go do one tomorrow. I'm not sure yet. So check that out definitely, and have a great time doing that. It's fun, and get some Easter eggs. Oh, I forgot to tell you, I got the Maleficent Easter egg. That's the one I got. And Miles got Timothy the Mouse from Dumbo.
I saw that they finally have a new the Haunted Mansion eggs that they were selling.
Yeah.
That are definitely a step up from the C-3PO and whatever it was egg that they are still actually have a ton of over at Company D.
Of course,
they overproduced those last year.
Those eggs are selling for $15. They're $14.99. And like I said our last episode, that you do get a AP discount when you do the egg hunt. So I did get a discount for that. And I didn't post the pictures of the Haunted Mansion eggs, the ghosts, because I didn't get a good picture. It was too, it didn't come out right, so I didn't post them. But yeah, they have those eggs too, and those are pretty cool. And I would like to get them, but I don't know if I want to spend $15. I'd rather spend $6 on a donut.
Oh, yeah. Donuts.
And real quick, we got information that Press Day, Media Day for Galaxy's Edge will be happening on May 28th through the 30th. That's when all the press is going to be there and spoiling everything for everybody else, because it's going to be all over the interwebs and things like that. I know that the executives are going to have their preview prior to that. So the whole week, there's going to be something going on over there. So in case you guys are in the parks and you're like, well, what's going on over there? Well, that's what it is. Press Day, Media Day, and executives from of course, like Burbank and probably Florida and things like that are going to be over here checking all that out. And you'll see all that on the medias all over the place.
Yeah, so make sure you guys make sure you guys pay attention to the social media. He will be posting all of the information on the Halloween party. And all the links to pricing and days and all that stuff. He will have that on there if he doesn't already. If you guys missed any of the stuff about Disney Plus or or Rise of the Skywalker trailer or any of that stuff, that is also on the Facebook page. And if he wants to link any of that stuff through Twitter, he can go to my Twitter and find all that stuff there. Otherwise, it should definitely be on the Facebook page. And, of course, we are MousePIRE on Facebook, at MousePIRE on the Twitter and the Instagram, and then MousePIRE on the Snapchat.
And I've been doing a lot of snappies lately in the parks, and when I go to the parks in a few days or whatever, I'll be doing more snappies, so you can check those out there.
Yes, he'll be doing probably he could do snaps tomorrow, but it'd be no point because you wouldn't know he was going to do it.
But you can still snap.
But you can still snap,
or
watch the snap,
or whatever you do.
Or you could just disappear when you get snapped.
Snap, snippety, snoop. You can find me on Instagram at Baloo1313. Also follow Buttons by Diggs on Instagram. There you'll see your button orders going out. Help support the podcast. Head over to MousePIRE's shop, which is dgpclothing.com. You can get your MousePIRE gear, or you can also request your own gear. Hey, make your own shirt. You can make a shirt that says "I love Ratman." Yeah. Why not? So
why wouldn't you? Shit.
I agree with that. So head over to dgpclothing.com and check out all the stuff there. You can also support the podcast by going to patreon.com/MousePIRE. Check out Michael the Mail Guy $3 special. And don't forget, you also check out our podcast on YouTube. Just search MousePIRE Podcast. All our episodes on YouTube are up to date.
All the YouTubes you can get.
All the YouTubes you can get are up to date over there, thanks to Tim the Tech. And as soon as he gets back from Canada,
he's techalicious.
He'll be putting this episode up.
We're literally the only thing worth watching on YouTube. Otherwise, the rest of YouTube is pretty much garbage.
I agree with that because Tim does an awesome job with animations and putting pictures up and everything. So.
I mean, if you want to see a bunch of people complaining about women in movies and how there's too many, I don't know, whatever's, and just people being stupid, go on there and look for, you should find it pretty easily. But just find us, it's fine. Maybe Star Wars YouTube channel, maybe the Star Wars Kids YouTube channel, but then that's about it.
There you go.
Screw everybody else. And until next time, remember, nothing should ever come as a surprise to anyone who listens to this podcast, unless, of course, we tell you to be surprised. So for Georgia Engel, Monkey Punch, and Nala the Cat, I'm Anthony.
I'm Tim.
And I'm Diggs.
Bye.
Bye. This podcast is intended for entertainment and informational purposes only. Audio, sound bites, and other clips are property of their copyright holders. All original stuff is ours and property of MousePIRE.com.
Come on, everybody, get your game on. Get your ears on. Do a good time.
You can find me on Instagram at Baloo.
Some damn place.
Somewhere.